Welcome to Majesty's House of Music. Please hit the subscribe button if you have not done so, because we're always posting lessons here weekly. So today I want to talk about one of my courses called the Piano Chord Voicings course. How do you voice your chords? There are techniques that we can voice our left hand chords and also how we can voice our right hand chords, right? There are techniques of using Tritons, Rootless Voicings. You need to know how to spice up your chords, to enrich your chords. For example, you want to play those fat chords, those extended chords. This course is very good for you. So I want it's a full course, but I want to highlight some of the chapters that are covered in the Advanced Piano Chord Voicings course. And I'll put a link in the description area below this video where you can go over on our website and look at the contents of the full course. But in this section, I'm just going to highlight the chapters that we cover in this course so that you can have a test and make a decision whether you'd like to get the full course, right? And I encourage most of you to go ahead and get the full course, to invest something in your learning and advance your chord voicings, okay? So let's get right into this and just have a look at some of the chapters that we cover in this full course.
Okay, welcome to Majesty's Academy of Music. Now, this is a DVD. We are going to be doing a few advanced things here and there. So get ready for this. So in this first lesson, we are going to be doing left-hand voicings. I'm going to be dividing them into several parts. So in this first part, I'm going to be working on extended voicings. So let's just get right into it. Assuming you choose the key of, let's say, C. This is normally what most people will play. Yeah, it's a C perfect fifth or something. Let's say you are playing the 2, most people will play it like that. Same thing for the 3, or maybe this, or maybe this, depending. For the 4, that's same thing. For the 5, or maybe this. Then for the 6, or maybe this, maybe that. Then for the 7, you will see things like this, or this, or maybe this, depending on the chord. And then back to the 1. Welcome to part 2 of left-hand voicings. So in the first part, we covered extended voicings. These ones, whichever key. But now in our second part, we are going to cover reduced voicings. For those maybe who thought in the first part that they can't extend, some of these extensions are pretty difficult to hack. Like, let's say the key of C sharp. Most people can't really be able to stretch up to that point. So, or A flat, same thing. So, to cover those people, we also have to do a bit of reduced voicing, because not everyone has long fingers or something like that. So we'll cover these reduced voicings. Let's demonstrate how they work. So this is the standard voicing normally. So if, let's say, we want to reduce this, what should we do? This is the 1, the 5, and the 1. The C, G, and the C. So if maybe we want to reduce it, we can reduce it to the 7. This last note, you can bring it back to the 7. So you can have something like that. It's like Welcome to part 3 of our left-hand voicings. In this, we are going to be doing chord voicings. Chord voicings. Basically, what I'm trying to say is whichever chord you play on your right hand, you can transfer it to your left hand. So we'll start with those that maybe have the root, and then we'll go to those that don't have the root. So for those ones that have the root, let's say you are one chord. I'll be doing this in the key of C. You are one chord. Like we said. So that's your one chord. Now, if you probably have a bass player or something, or maybe you don't even have a bass player, this is what you can do. You can play a full major 7th chord on your right hand. So you can play that. It's the same thing you play on your right hand. Now you are transferring it to your left hand. So transfer it to your left hand. This one now allows you to be kind of free in your right hand, such that you can even play scales, or maybe you can even play a chord. Welcome to part 4 of left hand voicings. I like to call these guitar chord voicings because when you listen to many guitarists, you'll hear those chords. They really love to use them. So I'll just go straight into this. So maybe let's say this is your one chord. You'll hear something like this. I'll be using the key of C. I'll demonstrate in other keys as well. So this is normally our standard voicing. You'll hear something like this. Or maybe you can play it higher. Okay. So that's exactly the voicing I'm talking about. This one. Now, so you have your C, you have your B, and you have your E. Now, the only limitation to this voicing, especially on your one chord, it just limits you to a major 7 chord on your right, or maybe a 5 chord. So or a major 7 chord, or that. So it just limits you to a major 7. So that's your one. You don't have to play this, you don't have to do this stretch at once. Although if you can do it, the better. Welcome to the 5th part of this DVD. In this part, we'll be doing rootless voicings. Rootless voicings and some kind of improvisation. In the previous 4 chapters, we've been dealing with different types of left-hand voicings. So in this, we'll be doing rootless voicings. What I mean by rootless, maybe let's say you are in the key of F sharp, let's say. And this is your one chord. So this one, this F sharp is your root. So this is your root. But now if you decide to play a rootless chord, what will you do? You will eliminate the root, which is the F sharp. Maybe now if you play it this way, that becomes a rootless chord. So instead of playing it this way, you play it this way. That becomes a rootless chord. So we are going to look at various rootless chords you can use. Let's say for your one chord. Let's, since we're in the key of F sharp, let's just stick there. So that's your F sharp. Maybe you want to play a one chord. You don't have to play it this way all the time. There is this voicing that that people like to do. You will hear something like. Okay, welcome to this part of this DVD. Now, here we are going to be looking at some of the right hand voicings you can use to sound good. So let's just use the key of A. Let's maybe start with something like this. So let's start with A. Maybe something like a 6 chord. This is your 6 chord. So your 6 is an F sharp. You can voice it maybe something like this. That voicing sounds really nice. What voicings you have in your right hand? The keys you have A, you have B, you have C sharp, you have E, you have G sharp, and you have B. So if you wanted to voice it rootless, you could use something of that sort. So that's a really nice 6 chord you could use. So I started with the 6, so let me go. Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use tritons in our voicings. Whether it's on your left hand, whether it's on your right hand, doesn't really matter. But we are going to be using tritons. So let's just get right into it. Maybe let's say we use the key of G, doesn't matter. So that's the key of G. Let's see which tritons can you use. Let's say you are on your one chord. You are on your one chord. These are the tritons you can use. So if you don't really understand what a triton is quite simple. A triton, it's just like its name. It's a difference of 3 tones. And you know, I like to call a tone a difference of 2 keys. So maybe that one is a triton, that one is a C triton. Why? Because if you count from C to F sharp, you have 3 tones in between. You have this, and you have this. So that forms a triton. And a C triton is also an F sharp triton. So just like, let's go to the next key, C sharp, and G. It's the same thing. So